Why, hello everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your yin yoga practice, where we are once again focusing on the low back, the hips, and the hamstrings, the spaces that tend to get really tight when we're sitting, and also just because we're hunched over our computers all the time. The props I recommend for today are a block so that you can come into a squat and relax into the squat, because remember, yin's all about finding stillness, and a pillow. Feel like a hard structured pillow that you can use that will help you really find a little bit of lift. Awesome. Just looking to bring something a little softer than just your block, or maybe you bring a towel that you place over your block, or a smushy pillow. Your choice. I'm going to be working with this awesome giant pillow that I have when it comes time for that. So we're going to get started in just a couple minutes in Sukhasana in an easy seated position of your choice. I'm going to go be my own Blue's Clues, find the other timer, turn off the air conditioning, make my space smell delicious for some deep breaths, and I'll see everyone on our mats in 3 minutes. At 4:30. 2 minutes. At 4:30. 2 minutes. Oh, well. Hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica, and Uncle Buck. I'm Fred, and we're here today for your yin yoga experience. We're going to get started in Sukhasana in an easy seated position of your choice. Ooh, there. If sitting on the floor with your glutes flat on the floor isn't super comfortable for you, go ahead and already take use of either your block, it's right behind me, or maybe just sitting on your pillow to help you get a little bit of lift, especially if you find that your knees are all the way coming up towards your shoulders. Treat yourself to sitting on a prop and getting a little bit more lengthening within those hips. Make sure your sit bones are glued down to something. Create some length through the crown of your head. We're going to hang out here just breathing for 2 more minutes. Take note of the quality of your breath. Work to lengthen both your inhale and exhale as much as possible. Create as much stillness within your length, within your breath as you can today. Take the gentle reminder that if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So either find one soft spot to gaze your eyes or simply close them. stay present in your breath. One final minute right here. All right. Surprise, take your time. We're actually going to make our way up to standing to do two of my favorite stretches for the tight-legged crowd. So make your way to a standing position. Have a prop nearby. Oh no, my shirt's kind of short and it's hard to tuck into my pants. And I'm trying to be modest. And next up, we've got a dangle. Your choice if you're going to have your legs wide or narrow. I want you to work to take the rounding out of your back though. So feel free to bend your knees so you can send your glutes towards the back of the room. Take a little separation of the glutes. Bring your belly to your thighs. You can even bring your hands forward on the mat as you need to. Maybe even hands on a block. Keep a lot of weight in your heels and relax your head down to the floor. We've got one more minute right here. If your hands feel really far from the floor, you feel like you're creating too much effort to reach, grab hold of your opposite elbow. That might even help you to bring a little bit of length towards your back, but find a place that you can just hang out. So no coming into the posture and moving out, only coming out if you start to feel pain instead of just a little maybe uncomfortable stretching. No need to go any deeper than you are, just finding your stillness. And keeping your long, slow, strong breath. On your next exhale, release your hands to the floor. Heel toe your feet out a little bit wider, maybe mats with distance apart. I'm going to place my block behind me and sit down. Actually sitting on the block to come into a squat. Helps you to get a little bit lower, knowing you actually have something to sit on. And, timer. With this assistance, you can keep your feet hopefully flat on the floor. Keep that lift of your chest. We have 1 minute right here, and then we're going to come back into the dangle. We're going to do each of these one more time. If it's too hard for you to lift your chest, it's okay to keep your hands on the floor. Can you still maybe find a little bit of length forward instead of crunching and rounding through that lower back? Think about pulling your chest through your biceps and squeezing your shoulder blades just a little bit. And it's very similar to the action that's created when you're lifted here as well. On your exhale, bring your hands down to the mat and carefully lift yourself back up. You can keep your feet a little wide, but bring your toes back forward towards the front of the room. Relax your head down to the floor. You can always heel toe your feet back in towards each other. Weight in your heels. And as straight of legs as feel good for you to stretch through those hamstrings. Relax your head down towards the floor. Take the wrinkles out of the neck. Draw the shoulders down the back. And you can either keep your hands on the floor, grab your opposite elbow. Remember, we're working to be still here, as still as possible. Let's enjoy the silence in our breaths for just over 1 minute from here. Take your time, bring your hands back to the floor if you lifted them up. Maybe walk them forward to help you bring your knees back down towards the floor. We're going to come onto our backs and enjoy a spine twist. You're welcome. A bent knee spine twist sounds good to me. Keep a prop nearby if you want to use one to stack between your legs. Don't look so upset with me, Uncle Buck. You're welcome to join us. It's yoga. It's beautiful. Go ahead, stretch your arms out to the side. Maybe even create a little goal post with your arms to try something different. And as you're ready, drop your knees to one side. Again, if it's uncomfortable for you, you can always place a block between your legs, maybe under one leg to help you stack your hips. To just be a little bit more comfortable in the spine twist, maybe able to relax both shoulders down towards the floor more. If you want a little extra stretch, turn to look in the opposite direction of your legs. We're going to be here for, I believe, 2 more minutes. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So find that soft gaze or close your eyes. And then with your eyes closed, do that scan of your body, head to toe. Start from the top of your head, relax your eyes and your eyebrows. Relax your mouth and your tongue. Your neck, your jaw, your shoulders. Can you release the back of your hands to the floor? If not, that's okay. Back to your big belly, relaxed breaths. Remove any tension from your glutes. Find ease within your belly, your legs, your ankles, your toes. Take your time. We're going to come to the opposite side. So bring the soles of the feet to the floor, roll over onto the back. Press into your feet, lift your hips up, roll to the other side. Maybe you use that prop again between your legs. Maybe you don't need it on this side. Find what feels good for you today. What can you do with your body? Remember, you have the option to turn your head towards the opposite side. I'm going to keep looking at y'all so that you can hear me as needed. As you really enjoy the silences through today's class, start to tune into the space around you. Listen for the furthest away sound you can hear. All right, take your time. Have that pillow nearby. We're going to roll over onto our bellies. And next up, we're going to come into Sphinx pose, where we're going to use our props underneath of our bellies to help us get a little bit more of a lift. So still have that lower belly down on the mat. Maybe you place your elbows on your pillow, or maybe you can bring your pillow, it's smaller, who knows, underneath of your body so it's a little bit more narrow than mine. Oh, that feels great. You can separate your feet a little bit, maybe walk those feet out. If it's too much for you to have your elbows on the floor and to find this lift, you can still find a gentle lift of your chest, but with alligator pose, bend your elbows and place your forehead down on the mat. If you find that you're looking for a little bit more of an intense stretch in that lower back, you can bend your knees. Bringing your feet together can help you to find a little bit more stillness here. Heels come towards the glutes. We've got two of our longest postures for today coming up right now and next, because we're going to stay here for 5 minutes. So work to eliminate that fidgeting. Still scanning your body from head to toe. Ask yourself where you need to press and activate to feel this stretch in your lower back, and where you can relax. So work to release through your glutes. Find a little press through your elbows into the floor or your prop. We are almost at halfway. Remember, you're working to find that noticeable stretch. So find what works for you today. Maybe you're on the floor in alligator, but you have your knees bent. Focus on the idea of getting your belly button pressed down towards the floor. And how that press of the belly button down on the mat, as well as your hips and hip flexors, is going to bring that big stretch to the lower back. So don't lose out on that belly button being down. If that belly button is glued down towards the floor and you want an even more intense stretch, option to finish out here by pressing up into seal. You might even want to walk your hands a little bit further apart and then go ahead, press yourself up, but keep that belly button area down on the floor. So no pressing up and lifting, then you'll lose out the stretch in that lower back. If you had your knees bent, gently release them down towards the floor. If you're still lifted, lower your belly down. Join anyone who might be an alligator. Make a pillow with your hands. Place your forehead on the pillow. Bend your knees and just windshield wipe your legs. You don't have to bring those heels close towards your glutes though. You can if it feels good. You can make some circles. Just find a little movement through that lower back. Awesome. Then gently press yourself up. We're going to turn over and come into caterpillar. So especially if your hamstrings are really tight, go ahead, sit on your prop. It's going to make it a little bit easier. Stretch those legs forward. Find a little tilt of your pelvis. Bring your belly towards your thighs. Now, if you have another pillow or your block around, you can bring your belly onto your pillow. To relax here as much as possible. We're already in it to win it. Once again, another 5-minute posture, but let's be honest. We spent a little time moving, and that's okay. So once you find that forward tilt of your pelvis, especially if you have your belly relaxed on something, it's okay to find a little rounding forward as that feels good for you. And if it doesn't feel good, then keep your hands on the floor to help you with a little bit of support. We're caterpillars. Take some big, deep breaths through the back side of your body. Feel your back ribs expand. Maybe you can even see mine in my awesome new shirts. Technically, it's not new. I've never worn it before. I did take the tags off of it. It was in my, white, let's tie-dye this, too lazy to tie-dye collection. I do have another new shirt, but I was wearing this, so it is what it is. That's one of the squares on our summer bingo challenge, as is attending a live group exercise class. So simply being here today, you've already marked off one box and the free box. You're like so close to a bingo. Reach out or Fast Jump Fitness to sign up through the end of July. All right, back to our stillness and silence, just knowing that you could be well on your way to not only feel good, but winning some prizes just for being here today. Thought I'd throw that out there. Great job, everyone. Take your time, walk yourself back up. Let's move these props out of the way. We're going to return to a tabletop position and enjoy a little bit of movement to thank you all and congratulate yourself and feel good after all of that stillness with a little cat-cow. We're going to mix up that cat-cow though, so bring your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders. Open them nice and wide. Press into your palms. Get that lift through your chest. And let's do some lateral bends. Oh, let me tuck my tank top back in for modesty. Cool. We got 3 minutes here. Starting off with just a little bit of going side to side. Finding that shift through your hips. Looking over your shoulder. Moving at the pace and the depth that feels good for you today. I know that it's really hard to stay still. It is really hard to stay still. Sometimes in yoga, it's not even the posture that's the most challenging part. It's the stillness within the posture that's really a lot of work. So I just want to congratulate you for doing your best. That was 10 minutes, 2 postures in 10 minutes. So we really worked to be still through. Find what feels good for you for this last half of cat-cow. Maybe some shoulder rolls, maybe some big stretches through those hips, maybe a little bit of both. We're going to lay down on our backs after this. Just a couple more breaths right here to find stretches, the arching and rounding of your back, the shaking of your hips, the shimmy through your shoulders that your body needs today. As long as you're moving, you're doing it right. Something is always better than doing nothing, so don't worry about what it looks like. Just find what feels good. Take the time to explore with your own body. All right, let's go ahead. Grab your pillows again. We're going to come into a supported fish pose next. So we're going to place the pillow at our mid to low back. And it's up to you what you want to do with your legs for this one. You might find that you even want another pillow or something to help you relax your head towards the floor. Now you can keep your knees bent if this is a very intense arch in the back for you. Or you can go ahead and straighten your legs out. So make sure that your glutes are down on the floor. The pillow is supporting your lower back. You can straighten your legs out. You can have your arms out at your side, maybe in a T, maybe hands on your chest. Or if you want a little bit more of an intense stretch, you can bring those arms up overhead. We've got 2 more minutes right here. Now remember, if this becomes too uncomfortable or painful, you can always ease up on yourself. Bringing your arms back down by your side or out to the sides is going to be less intense of a stretch than arms up overhead. In addition to bending your knees and placing the soles of the feet on the floor It's going to help to relieve any extra tension you might feel if this is too much for your lower back. Make sure you're in a place where your breath remains slow. We have 1 minute left right here. Wait, no. Do we have 2 minutes left? Which posture are we on? Let me consult my handy dandy. No, we have 1 minute left, unfortunately. Just 1 minute. If you walked your legs all the way out, bend your knees, start with the heels pressed into the floor, then walk your legs a little closer in. Let's roll over onto our side. Arms come down by our side first to help. I think that helps. Let's remove this here prop. Yeah, let's remove this prop. Bam! We're going to lay down on our side. Okay, so laying down on your right side, place your head on your right hand and start with your knees bent. Take your left leg and bring it down onto the floor. So you're just kind of like hanging out, staggered, like you're chilling, talking with your friends at the beach. Go ahead, bend your back knee and grab hold of it with your top hand, with your left hand. And bring your heel towards the glute. And start to stretch your knee down towards the floor. Find a nice big stretch through your quad. We're going to come a little bit deeper here towards the end. So I want you to release your top hand from your foot, but walk that leg back a little bit further if you can. Maybe you can even extend through your top leg. Let's lower, release ourselves down towards the floor. Bring your arm, hand, and shoulder to the floor. Find an arch in your back. So we went from cattail pulling into this super deep spinal twist. If it's too deep for you, you don't have to work to get that back shoulder to the floor. You can always lift it up. You can bend that top leg and keep a stagger of your legs to remove some of the intensity through the glutes and the low back. Otherwise, we got 1 more minute right here. Remember, twitching or trembling is normal in yin. So maybe if you feel any jerking or trembling, twitching through your arms, through your hands, through your glutes, your toes, and you were like, whoa, don't worry, that's supposed to happen. It's normal. All right, if you extended through your legs, go ahead, bring your legs back together, roll onto your back, take your time. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So rolling over onto your left side, starting with those knees bent. You prop your head up on top of your arm, and you take your top leg, your right leg comes down towards the floor. Go ahead, bend that left leg, reach back for it, and work to bring your heel towards your glute while I grab the timer so I know how long we've been here. All right, so just hanging out for a couple breaths here, lifted with the heel towards the glute, finding a nice stretch in that lower leg quad. If you want to, you can already experiment with extending through your upper leg. Oh my gosh, I got a lot going on over here, so I'm gonna not do that. All right, now take your time, lower yourself down, release your hand from your foot, see if you can extend that leg back even a little further. Wiggle it back further. Can you find a little length through your top leg as you roll over? Maybe both arms come out to the side in a T, as in tank top, which I'm tucking into my shirt, which is kind of silly now that I think about it, because there's a hole in the tank top. Dear Jessica, dear Jessica. All right. We got just over 1 more minute right here. So find that arch and lifting your back through your chest that helps you to get your shoulder to the floor a little more. This is why we warmed up the sides of our bodies in our cat-cow today. Big stretch happening right now through the whole right side of my body. Take your time, bend those knees, bring them back together, carefully roll over onto your back. Coming towards our last 2 postures in today's class. Keep your lower back on the floor as you carefully draw your knees in towards your chest for a little knees to chest pose. If it's hard for you to grab on top of your legs, you can always place your hands below your legs. You can always just let gravity do the work if that's still feeling too uncomfortable. Feel free to roll gently here, side to side. Another opportunity for a little bit of movement and finding what feels good. Maybe you even draw one knee in towards your chest as the other goes away. A little extra stretch in those glutes and those hips. Thought about just having a reclined bound angle here, but we've already enjoyed so much stillness, and we have that final savasana coming up next. I thought a little motion might feel good. Feel free to stay still here in this knee to chest pose though. Just make sure that lower back still stays to the floor, meaning that you're not rolling your knees towards your chest so much that your lower back lifts. So maybe your knees don't come as far towards your chest. That's okay too. We got 1 minute left right here to enjoy a little bit of movement before we come into our final savasana. So get out any of those spilkies that you have left, any feeling like you just need to fidget. Shake it out, wiggle it out right now. Get in those last stretches. And then as you're ready, go ahead, send your legs out in front of you. We're coming into our final savasana. Take your time to get there. Feel free to open your legs as wide as you want, arms as wide as you want, or keep it all narrow, right within your mat, within your space, making it easier on your body. Just allow that blood to flow. If you're feeling any discomfort in your lower back, feel free to bend your knees, tent your knees, maybe even bring that pillow back to the party underneath of the back of your legs. Relax and release here into the mat. Take this final savasana, this corpse pose, as literally as important, as valuable as all of the other postures that we've moved through today. So frequently people hear, Savasana class is over. It's over. Let me grab my stuff and move really fast and leave the room. No, you gotta give yourself some time to relax here, to let your practice soak in both physically and mentally. Think about why you came, what you're grateful for today. Even if you're feeling absolutely miserable inside, and that's okay, you're welcome to feel super duper duper miserable. Can you think of at least one thing that you're kind of grateful for, or that doesn't absolutely stink? And if you're feeling really good, enjoy it. Focus on all of the things that you maybe find that you can enjoy. Even if you were feeling really miserable, maybe you thought of something good. It's close to the end of the workday. That's something awesome. That was amazing, y'all. That was just over 4 minutes together in this Savasana. You're welcome and encouraged to stay here as long as feels good for you. And if you have not yet found a point where you could enjoy just a little taste of stillness, I ask you to stay here, lay here for 5 breaths. Can you be still for 5 breaths? once you have finished that 5th breath, if you're not staying in a longer Savasana, carefully take your time. Let's make our way up to a seated position. Just close out this class together. Thank y'all so much for coming. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I said or we did today, I hope that you will reach out. Take the opportunity to bring your hands palms to the center of your chest with your thumbs on your sternum. A little hands in namaskar. Keep an eye out, y'all. The schedule is going to gently change, but I promise you Yin Yoga is not going away. It is moving to Fridays, a little something to enjoy before the weekend. But do remember that all of our classes from the past year plus are available online, on YouTube, on our YouTube channels. So if you need help finding what makes you feel good, please let me know about that as well. So we see each other again, which will be next Friday. Remember to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds. Take the time to nourish yourself from the inside to the out. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Know that the light within me honors Caesar. So thankful for the light within you. Please keep coming. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and namaste.